Happy Molina Monday, but more importantly, happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to be telling you the scary truth about real estate. But guess what? It's the scary good truth about real estate. Here's what you have to know. Let's get started. So this is incredibly important to think about with regard to future real estate appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that the cost of living and the cost of shelter is out of control in the United States, well, to a degree, you would be correct because everything has been increasing, rent, home prices. However, if you think about the room to grow in the United States, here is a chart of something called the price to income ratio. And every country, every county, every state has one. And in order to find the price to income ratio of the United States, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom of this chart. And here, almost entirely at the very bottom at number 109 is the United States. All right. We have a price to income ratio of 4.58%. Our neighbor, Canada, who's only 83 on this list, has a price to income ratio of 8.91%. That's almost double the United States. In fact, United Kingdom is number 91 on this list, and they are at 7.99. That's, again, almost double what the U.S. is. California is about 13, okay? Florida, for example, is about 4.5. We still have a big way to go, all right? Now, here's something very important that you have to keep in mind with regard to real estate. I'm about to show you this map that you can find on Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies, and it really goes in line to why a private equity firm, one of the biggest in the world, KKR, is still buying real estate today. They're buying real estate particularly in the states I'm going to show you here in a moment, called the Sunbelt, okay? And why they're buying in the Sunbelt, it is the following, okay? They say, when combining increased population with demand for an industrial warehouse real estate, the result is a need for increased investment in housing, and in this case, multifamily housing. The Sunbelt represents a perfect storm of population growth that yields an opportunity to invest in both types of real estate properties. Okay, so here we go to this map of domestic migration. Where are people moving within the United States? Okay, and here, as you can see, domestically, people are moving to the Sunbelt, all right? You have Florida, all right? You got Georgia, you got South Carolina, you got North Carolina, you got Tennessee, Texas, and Arizona. Okay, now here are the cities in the U.S. that are the most leveraged that you do not want to invest in. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Goldman Sachs wrote an article that 39% of U.S. cities will see housing prices decline. So you do not want to be part of that 39%. You want to be part of the other percentile, which is the greater percentile. Here's where you don't want to invest, okay? Glendale, California, price to income ratio 15%. Sunnyvale, California, 12.8. Escondido, 12.6. You get the picture. I mean, look, Honolulu. And if you look at this list of the cities you don't want to invest in, California, 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 Hawaii, California, 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 New York, New Jersey, California, Utah. You don't see Florida on that list anywhere, all right? Because price to income ratio is about 4.5%. And then you got Glendale, California at 15%, okay? Now, in addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, Goldman Sachs said, in addition to the 39% of U.S. metros where home prices are going to decline, they literally went on to say that it's mostly in the West region, as I just showed you, okay? Now, what's really interesting when you also look at this internal domestic migration is that if you look at it from international migration as well, look, where are most people moving to in the United States from other countries? All right, Florida, Texas, and New York actually makes the cut in this list. All right, now let's look at total population change. Again, it's the Sunbelt. It's Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, all right, Tennessee, Texas, Arizona, all right, and then you also have this Utah here, and you have the Idaho, but you really want to be careful with any states, all right, that are surrounding California. Because if you go from total population change to domestic, then all of a sudden Utah goes away. All right, so be very careful there. And you really want to stick to the Sun Belt. just like the private equity firms are doing. For example, Goldman Sachs, all right, this was in May. They bought 87 single-family homes. They bought a whole community in Central Florida, all right? And then a little after that, they went on another buying spree in Jacksonville. They bought a 146 house single-family community in Jacksonville, okay? Now, what's really important to note is in this recent research paper published by Goldman Sachs, they said that a slowdown in the housing market could be cushioned by a relative lack of available homes in the US, Canada, and UK, okay? Because a lot of other countries that have the highest price to income ratios are going to get hit the hardest. Okay, but what they said about the US, Canada, and UK is that they have strong household finances. And the economists think it's unlikely that there's going to be a large wave of forced selling, all right, in the US because the recession would probably be mild. The housing market is tight in regard to inventory. Mortgage quality is solid, and a large proportion of mortgages have a fixed rate. Now, let's break down the most important part of this. The housing market is tight. Mortgage quality is solid. Okay, what does that mean? Here we go to a map of inventory. Ladies and gentlemen, look at inventory in 2008. 4 million homes for sale. Look at it today. We still have such a long way to go. That's what they mean by the market is tight. There's not a bunch of inventory out there. Now, what's the other part of this? Mortgage quality is solid, all right? Let's look at this. The news is not going to tell you this. Mortgage delinquencies dropped to a 23-year low. That is so safe. That is a beautiful thing for real estate, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, go out there, have an amazing Halloween, all right? Get some candy, trick or treat, and don't let the media fool you, all right? Anyways, Molina out. Happy Halloween. Take care.